Well, here we are once again, viewers. It's Mondays with Barry. How are you, Barry?
I'm pretty good today, Colin. Lovely day today.
Say hi to the viewers.
Cheerio. Hi, whatever.
Okay.
It's a lovely day.
Well,
It's the main thing.
Beautiful day, nice, low 20s. So what have we got today for us, Barry?
Well, I'm going to regurgitate this little story. I was talking to one of my mates last night from the Panyip, and I said, well, I better put that back and remind him up there. But I went up there to Horsham to pick that side. What year is that? Is that 209?
209, June 209.
3 years ago. Over 3 years ago.
Time flies.
Now, I went up there and Murray Lawson, he got this organised from the Wimmera Mail Times of Paul Carricher. And he's still up there, Paul Carricher too. He done the story about picking my best site for the Wimmera League, and there it was.
Yeah, the full rundown. Just tell us about
You can read some of these little things that, because the interview, when he done the interview, so I picked the side of course, and he done the interview, so you can just mention a couple of things about what he was asking me up there when I was doing the interview.
It said here, Peatling had his time in the Wimmera marred by an almost fatal car accident in 1963 when he rolled his car travelling back from Rappunyup. He suffered a broken neck and a fractured skull. He had been stand-out player for the Panthers in the first 5 rounds of the 1963 season and left to face a gruelling road back to playing in 1964.
Yeah, I was picked first row that year for the Wimmera League football side. But
you can actually hear more of that on a previous video.
Yeah, but that's... well, I thought so we can sort of read the names out, then I'll give you a quick
Yeah, we've got Mick Simon who...
Where's the back line?
Yeah, well, we don't want to go through the whole thing.
Well, just I'll give a quick so people
we've
can't
got Max Woodward, Jim Pearce, Darryl Howland.
Yeah, keep going.
Denny Lindsay.
Denny Lindsay won the Toohey medal, star.
Gary Learsh.
Very tough player.
Wes Warwick.
Superstar.
Ron Kemp. Morris Marks.
Morris Marks, superstar for Rappunyup.
Aboriginal player. Wes Richardson. Graham Klein.
Graham Klein, best half forward in the competition.
Roger Webb.
Star.
Charlie Toohey, Ian Morgan.
The Rover.
Ian Morgan's wife just passed away recently.
Yes, must mention that in a minute, yeah. Keep reading on.
Robert Dunlop. And you had Colin Wilson as the coach. Merv Haywood. Barry Peatling as vice-captain.
And first rover.
Robert Shipside, Larry Harris, Peter Sheridan, Kevin Dalla as your
Reserves, yeah. It's a pretty good side, and no one's complained about it either. A couple of fellas a few years ago and wrote a story in the Mail Times picking their own side, and I don't know where they got their players from, but that was no complaints about that side, and it would have beaten any other side anyone else picked. I think now for sure.
And just on Ian Morgan.
Yeah, so I got a sad news. Discovery Sprague rang me up last week ago, and Janice Morgan. I was only talking to him 2 or 3 months ago, Colin, because I talk to Ian Morgan quite often, him and his wife. But he wasn't home that night, and I was speaking to her, and I said, someone told me he had a bit of problem. He said, yeah, had a bit of radiation, and she sounded pretty good. The next thing, Sunday she died in hospital. So she must have went downhill. I tried to ring up Ian Morgan.
So it's Janice Morgan.
Ian Morgan's wife.
From Rappunyup.
But I tried to ring up Ian Morgan, there's no answer. I don't know what he was out, but I'll ring him up tonight, because the funeral's tomorrow, Colin.
Right, funeral's tomorrow. That's an announcement for the people who want to go. So
yeah,
that's
she was a sweetheart, a lovely lady, and a very good couple, Ian Morgan and Janice, and he was up there when I first went to Rappunyup.
Well, it's a very sad outcome.
It is, and it's no good. Bad.
Alright, well let's talk about cricket a little bit. Australia last night lost, which makes the...
Lost, they got annihilated.
Smashed. They fell apart. The wicket was a bit juicy.
No, it was the same for both sides. They just look, it's like when we go on the interview, it's like a second side show at the moment.
So what's going on with the selection of the one-day side, Barry?
Well, I'd like everybody else to know too. Everybody else would like to know what's going on, because some of the players have been picking. That's Stephen Smith. I haven't seen him for 3 or 4 years.
Stephen Smith?
He's a spinner.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He come in at number 7 or number 8. I mean, he's not a bad cricketer, but he's not up to it. And of course they got Doherty, and they got... Finch is a good big bash player.
There's a couple of new players, new bowlers.
Richardson, where did he come from? Chelsea?
Northern Territory.
I thought he might have played with Chelsea a couple of weeks ago.
No, and did you see what happened to him?
Who?
He bowled 6 overs, he got warned 3 times for walking on the pitch, and then he got banned from bowling for the rest of the game.
Well, yeah, that's enough said, isn't it?
But they reckon he's a bit of a star, up and coming star.
I've never heard of him, Colin.
Yeah, he's been been dominating in the Big Bash.
Same as Finch. He's been dominant. He said 3 goes, Finch. He just got into it.
Who was the other bowler that was on?
What, last night?
Yeah, there's another bowler there, unknown. Took up Mitchell Stark and Mitchell Johnson were both out.
Well, they both out too.
They were both out last night, and Khawaja.
I know he got.
Steve Smith
he was picked just before the game, and they
Steve Smith
changed it over.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the selection. I'll tell you who's rotating, Colin. It's the selectors. They're rotating right out the front door. So they are pathetic.
That's your message.
Now, you're a joke. You're Liberati. I'm telling you, you've got to go. You're the chief. You're going to take all responsibility for this. What's going on? Everybody in the paper and the radio. So listen to the people out there, Mr. Inverardi, wherever you pronounce it, Inverardi, yeah. It was just an ordinary cricket. I tell you, a very ordinary selector, chairman selector.
So what players are not up to it?
I got them right down. Stephen Smith's not up to it. Xavier Doherty, not up to it. Richard, never heard of him. He's always having a hamstring. He made a quick 50, but not a quick 50, but 50. Bailey, he's got to go. He's a big bash player too. But it's just Finch. He made 100 in about 40 minutes. He had 2 goes and he made double figures.
There'll be some major changes. I do like Finch, but I think he'll come good.
Well, he rushed in too quick.
And I think you're a bit harsh on George Bailey. He made a good score, 89 last couple of days ago.
I don't know.
More than run a ball.
Well, I watched him, but he's just come from nowhere to be captain. What is going on? You got to do with apprenticeship in this business. 5 or 6 years. He's been there for 5 minutes and he's captain. No one's ever heard of him.
He's a tactician.
Is he?
Well, the thing is, he went over to the Indian IPL and he was captain of the IPL team.
Oh, look, I don't give a
and
stuff
they won like 3 or 4 years out in a row.
Look, that game over there is it's weird. Anyway.
The other thing I want to say is that I think you've been a bit harsh on Richardson, new player.
Look, you got in this business, cricket, Shield cricket and Test cricket, you got to do your apprenticeship. I mean, Adam Gilchrist, he was playing for 5 years before he got in, and he was making hundreds all the time. These fellas, they're making no runs, but taking no wickets and still putting them in. Like Khawaja, he was dropped 5 minutes before the game.
Clark will be in. Warner will be back
Clark's,
in.
He's very boring one-day player, but look, I don't know what they've got to do. Is Greg Chappell still on selection committee?
No. All right, well, that's as cricket, some interesting thoughts you got there on cricket.
Yeah. I didn't mention last night, they got thrashed, Australia. That's what's the proof's in the pudding. 2 wickets, and the more I talk about the more my head gets hot.
He gets angry, he gets getting hot. What do you think of Tomic's chances in the tennis?
You just keep your mind right, Colin. Tomic, I am telling you now, I'll make a reasonable sort of statement. I reckon you'll make the second week, Tomic. Now I've got another little reasonable sort of a statement to make. I reckon Leighton he might just go to the end of the week. I reckon he'll win the first couple of games. You'll beat this Hispanic fella.
Leighton's looking good. And
he's going very good.
He's injury free. He's only like 32. So.
Well, some of the players play at 38, 39.
Yeah, so he's at the peak of his powers really. And he may be a surprise package. I agree with you there. Look, Tomic might do well, but I just don't like him.
That's your opinion. Everyone's got the free cut. We're not living in Russia. You've got your own opinion, Colin Sutcliffe. But look, he's a bit of a larrikin. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of larrikin about. So a lot of the good players like Rafter. Oh no, Rafter wasn't a bit of a larrikin. Who was the other fella? Leighton was a bit of a cheeky little.
He was with his come on and all that sort of stuff.
You got to give it a little bit. You got to have their own way of playing the game and sort of. So and I do think he will. We're talking about Hewitt now, no?
Well, Tomic, what do you think of Tomic?
I do think that Tomic will go to the second week.
Okay.
But I think
so is that quarterfinals or second
last
week?
16.
Yeah, okay.
I think Leighton, he's on today, isn't he, Leighton? Tomic's on tomorrow.
It started, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
Now, I'll tell you another thing about my other girl, Australian tennis player, this little Ashley Bard. I reckon she'll go all right.
Stozer?
Only 16. Stozer.
Nah.
She's playing today, isn't she?
She's no good in Australia. So what will happen?
Oh no, Sam, she'll fire.
So you got a few predictions which will be revealed probably next Monday.
Yeah.
If you're true or not, because that's the second week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next Monday.
Well, I'm tipping the Tomic. Bernard Tomic. He's just stepped up another level. He's won these last 5 matches, Colin. Last 5, and before that he lost about 9 in a row.
Wow.
So I mean, it's not a bad. and he's got the older he's getting a bit, the taller he's getting, and the more powerful serve he's getting.
Yeah, he's coming. I don't mind Leighton these days.
No, I'm talking about Tomic.
Tomic, well, he's tall.
His serve, he's probably another one of the most powerful serves
Well,
around.
look, he might do.
He will.
He's not. I'm not a fan of his.
You've got to change your mind about
No, I
Tomic.
just don't like the way he carries on.
Well, everyone's got their own way of expressing themselves, Colin. When you're playing football, you put their hands up and you got.
Yeah, but just when it's all quiet and he talks about himself and he's number one and all that sort of thing.
Well, Roger Federer's just the opposite.
You do not go around saying you're going to be the best thing ever.
No, he just said I'll make the top 10, and I said that last year, but I was wrong. But this year, 2013, I was predicting he will be in the top 10 before the year's out.
All right, we'll just have to wait and see. It's a long time away, but we'll have to wait and see. All right.
Who's he playing? Who's Tommy playing the first?
I don't know. Got no idea.
Nobody.
I don't care.
You should care to comment something. You're Australian. Kiwi Australian.
Now, just finally, we popped on the website Tuesday with Barry the full movie, so that's there for all time. What's been the response to that?
Well, it's been sort of. Look, it's quite remarkable. It's about 15 views. I mean, it goes for an hour and 23 minutes, Colin. That's pretty interesting to watch too. So if you got to spare things, nothing much to do tonight, and it's all Colin is behind the microphone. It's a bit of music, a bit of comedy, and like sort of story of
and
my
it's
life.
banned in some countries. Just one.
I noticed on the computer today. It's
banned in some
yes,
countries.
but the thing.
Maybe because it's got some words in it, but
there's no fair language.
Well, you know, there's a couple, maybe inappropriate in some countries.
But that it's quite interesting. There's a bit of music and my grandkids and what happened going years and years ago.
Yep.
And there's my massage card. If you live in Australia, Victoria, put that up in the air, kind of. That's my little massage.
So that's it for us today, this week,
yeah.
and so that's goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me and goodbye from everybody.